Morning, everybody. It's a little chilly out there today, wasn't it? Wasn't too bad. Everybody happy with that? Chase all the mosquitoes away, kind of deal. I mean, after all, it's Liberty County. That's Santa uses mosquitoes for reindeer, right? Okay. All righty. The regular meeting at Commissioners Court, Liberty County, Texas, December 16th, 2025. Let the record show that all the commissioners are here today. We do have business before the court. And if you would all rise, Lee, if you would please lead us in our pledges.
Please face the American flag and
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please face the Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
This morning, it's y'all know Christmas is right around the corner, so I'm sure that everyone's ready to celebrate with their families and friends, and it's a joyous part of the most wonderful time of the year. We've heard the song so many times. This morning, I'd like to read from Isaiah 9:6. I'm sure you've all heard this, and most of you have it memorized, but for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. If y'all would please pray with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for your gifts this time of year, that we know what it means to so many in the world as we celebrate the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus. Lord, may more people open their hearts and minds into looking at the true meaning of Christmas. And as we thank you for your grace, your mercy, your forgiveness, your protection, your guidance, your peace, your unfailing love, and for being our Savior. Lord, thank you for sending your Son for all those reasons and more. Please be with us as we go through this holiday season. Please be with our friends and family, and please protect our first responders, Lord. They have such a tremendous job ahead. And Lord, just help us to get into the new year, and may we all have that peace together. We ask these things in Jesus' most precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, let's see. Notices and proclamations. Dee Dee, I had none that I have on my list. Okay. But we do have the public forum time. Okay. So this morning we have our AgriLife, our annual 4-H update. So Jason, there you are. Come on up and introduce yourself and we'll, yeah.
I was going to ask, is there a possibility that I could introduce one of our newest employees?
Yeah, please. Yeah, bring your new one up. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all ease on around here and come up front where we can see you on the screen, and the whole world on the that's watching this morning can know just who you are. Okay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cynthia Fairfax, and I'm the assistant program leader for 4-H at Prairie View A&M. I'm super excited to introduce a Dayton resident. She is our new Prairie View 4-H extension agent for Liberty County, Miss Katie Scholander-Clark. She, from Dayton, she graduated from Texas A&M Kingsville with animal science and agricultural science degrees. I'm happy she will be joining Ms. Latoya Scott and, of course, Mr. Jason Bowen to help extend the mission of extension, make sure our kids are provided with, number one, fun, but educational, research-based activities to improve the quality of their lives. Thank you.
Okay, do you have anything you want to tell us about What you looking forward to?
Well, like she said, I am a Dayton resident. I grew up in Liberty County. And I'm happy to give back to the community that raised me and serve the youth and families of 4-H.
Good. Thank you.
I wanted to extend some of the programs that we have done since I've come on,
Okay.
and also the newsletter at the end. And I would also like to ask some of my 4-H ambassadors to please form me in the front.
Yeah, y'all come on up front, let everybody get to see it. And tell you what, Jason, if you would, we'll get each one to say their name and introduce themselves. And that way Lee can get it for the records. Yeah, there you go. We'll get everybody to pass that along and sign it.
Preston, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start. If you will, tell us your name and where you're from and which club you're part of.
My name is Preston Dunn. I'm from the Hardin 4-H Club. My name is Jackson Means. I'm from Nolan 4-H. I live in.
Hi, I'm Sarah Bush. I'm from Tarkington, Texas, and I go to the Hardin 4-H Club. I'm 16, and I just graduated.
Hi, I'm Annabelle Lindsay. I'm from Tarkington, and I am the president for Tarkington 4-H.
Hi, I'm Brooke Beltran, and I'm Hardin 4-H.
Hi, I'm Luke Patton, and I'm from Hardin 4-H.
Hi, I'm Trip Lindsay. I am from Tarkington 4-H.
Hi, I'm Cassidy Hedrick, and I'm from Dayton 4-H.
I would like to say that it has been a pleasure this year to be able to come into this and work with these young men and ladies. They have truly astounded me with all the different accomplishments that they have been able to do, whether with their livestock or leadership. So it has been amazing to see that our numbers have grown this year. So we are hoping to surpass what we did last year, and right now we are already past that mark. So that's a good thing, and our clubs are growing, and our kids are doing wonderful things for our community. So that's one of the things that makes me the proudest. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Okay, got a question for one of y'all. Give me your best answer. What's special about 4-H and agri-life in Liberty County? Is it the camaraderie or is it the opportunity to learn?
It's definitely the opportunity to learn and the opportunity to show your responsibility and the hard work that you put into your animals or your pies or whatever. It shows everyone that you worked your best to get where you got today.
We need to talk about those pies here in a minute. Okay. Well, thank y'all. I sure appreciate you coming in. Jason, thank you as always. Katie, welcome to the show barn. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay. All righty. And y'all have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and God bless you. And
Judge, I would also like to acknowledge our leadership we have here. We have our program leader, Dr. Philip Shackelford.
Doctor, if you would.
Another Prairie View representative, Mr. Jose Cavazos. And then our DEA, Mr. Eric Zimmerman from AgriLife.
Been knowing Eric for a long time now.
Yes, sir.
Gig 'em, buddy. Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Sure appreciate y'all coming today. And
So, Judge, we would like to say thank you. So our ambassadors have a little gift to give to you guys.
oh, wow.
Says
Okay.
appreciation and say thank you.
Y'all had them hidden so good I didn't see those.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Wow. Very nice.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, with that little gift there, we'll let y'all make it on the pies for a while. Okay. All right, we got plenty of chairs now, y'all. So anybody needs to do a little musical chairs may do so at this time. All righty. Jason, thank you again. All right, moving right along to item number 6, declare conflicts of interest. Does anyone have a reason why they should declare anything today? Okay. Moving on to the consent agenda. I'm sure you've had the opportunity to look over this. And do we have any add-ons today? Kim, do you have any today?
I do, Judge. Last week, we talked about the prosecutor longevity pay that comes from the state, and we added 2 employees from the county attorney's office. The county attorney's office has signed off on this, but we have some back pay we need to pay them for that category. And Farrah Harper is to receive $880, and Matthew Saldana is to receive $2,180.
All right. And besides that, today is Farrah's birthday. Yeah, okay, yeah. Sure she'll be happy to receive that. Okay, Natalie, you have anything we need to add? Nothing, really? End of the year and nothing? Okay.
We're good.
Boy, y'all right on top of your game today.
I move to approve the consent agenda with the add-on Kim made.
Got a motion from Greg,
Second.
second from Bruce. Is there any further discussion?
I had one question.
Sure.
It's an auditor question about the election expenses in that we only had 55% of the budget remaining, and I see a primary and then a general election. Is that because we bought equipment or something, or we're not worried about running out of money before the end of the?
Well,
Normal, I was gonna say Lee might be able to help with
Which budget are you looking at?
I'd have to dig into the.
Okay, let me clarify. We have a special fund that we use to pay for elections. It's under 027.
Mhm.
And most of the payment for the elections comes out of that. My election office budget is usually for staff, office expenses, paper, that kind of thing. But most of the expenses related to the election come out of 027. I am waiting on payments from some MUDs. So I've got about 30,000 outstanding that needs to come in. But we try to budget very carefully in that 027.
I knew I
and
should have
think we're
written
in
down
good
that
shape.
GL account, but I did not.
Okay.
So,
That's where most of the
but
funds
I
are.
looked through there and I thought it was one of the rolled up budgets. So.
Yeah. If we had to make it on what's in my regular office, yeah, you're right. We would.
Yeah, I don't think I was looking under your office.
So there's a substantial fund that we keep aside to pay for payroll and all of that for the elections.
Okay.
It's going to be tight, but I think we've got it.
Okay.
That's the only thing I had.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye. Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. In the regular agenda, item number 8.1, well, from the sheriff this morning. Sheriff, how we doing?
Judge, thank you. I'm doing behind, but I'm behind. I'm doing okay, but I'm behind on my Christmas shopping.
Are we all?
Just an update on the fire restoration part. The fire alarm vendor was there last week and is making steps to get everything work. I've got our fire marshal working with us on restoring the duct detectors, and they should be bringing that up to compliance with all these fire safety standards of there. The HVAC update, it's been completed in dorms 3 and 4. They're now working on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The contractor is now replacing the sheetrock and expanded metal. As soon as they finish with the other in 1 and 2, they'll have that done also. The door locks, the recent visit, I told you that we're coming last week. They've installed all the locks on the dorms 1 through 4, on the West Hall, the K pods, the P pods. They all are done. As far as intercoms and locks, the JK and L wing is fully functional. The West Hall, and it just as the locks, is fully functional also. Still working on some intercoms, our fire system. We're still waiting on the parts to come in on that. For general maintenance, what we've done is they've scraped all the old paint off the visitation rooms. They've got one repainted. They're working on the other one. The painting continues in the K dorm. Also, we had a problem there in Seg 1 with a floor drain, and Dayton Plumbing is coming to fix that. And that's an update for right now.
Good deal. Thank you, Sheriff.
Yeah, yes.
How the, on the HVAC, how were the chillers, Bruce? They were fairly new. I just wondered, did they?
We replaced those chillers 6.5 years ago.
Yeah.
At a tune of about $400,000.
Right.
I mean, they believe everything's. I believe those should be
Still good to go.
Life is 20 to 30 years on
Right.
those.
Right. Okay. All righty. And this is not an action item. It's information only, but I would request that y'all someone make a motion to accept.
Make a motion to accept.
Motion from Bruce, second from Greg to accept the sheriff's report. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. And that motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Sheriff. Item number 8.2 from Commissioner Karbowski, consider and approve the reappointments of Paul Marsh and the appointment of Mike Ward,
Yeah.
replacing Denny Loonham, to the Board of Commissioners of ESD number 3 for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2026. Bruce?
Yeah, this is our normal end of the year ESD boards, and I would like to say that these members are volunteer on here, just like our volunteer fire departments. Sometimes it is hard filling these boards and keeping people that want to serve the community in there. But I do make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Got a motion from Bruce, a second from Gerald to approve. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor? Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 8.3, Commissioner Karbowski, consider and approve the reappointments of the following: Charles Kammerling, Clayton Nugent, and Frederick Lamont Jr. to the Board of Commissioners of ESD number 2 for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2026. Bruce?
Same thing. It's these guys have been on the board for several years now and are doing a fine job. I do make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 8.4 from Mr. Dennis. Is he here today? I didn't see him earlier. Okay, consider and approve adding a copier, which is a BP 70C45, from Platinum Copiers to the District Attorney's Office at 181 Trinity Street, location to the county's master contract at a cost of $209.68 a month. And this is going to be adding another copier. Anyone have any questions?
I had one question, but since Nick's not here, it says this is adding a copier. So my question is always going to be the same when we're adding items that go against the budget. Is it budgeted? So
good question.
Do
Natalie?
you have the money in the budget?
Typically, we've seen these copiers the newer leases reduce the older lease amounts. So
Okay.
normally there is a budgeted amount for it. And it's usually a negligible amount if it is an increase, and it can
Okay.
get taken care of later.
So there's no one from the district attorney's office here to say whether or not their budget will support this or not? Or does this come right out of Nick's IT budget?
No, each department has a designated line for these
Okay.
copier leases.
All right, so you don't think it's a problem?
No.
Great.
Okay, what say the court?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Motion from Gerald, second from Greg. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye. Likewise, nays. The motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Item number 5, it's gonna be executive session item. I would ask that we move it to the end of the list, Lee, and we'll move on to item number 8. And, excuse me, item number 6. Number 8, 6 is from Ms. Chambers. While you're moving that one, I got a question for you, okay?
Okay.
Consider approved consultation and programming services from ICW not to exceed $10,500 to complete the setup for the GIS system to be paid by the tax assessor collector from the voter registrar Chapter 19 funds. Okay.
This is the software that had been bought by the prior election administrator, and but had not renewed it. So we renewed it and got it up and running again. Got my staff and people trained on it, and they've been building the database. They've got the streets in. Some of them are numbered, some of them are not. They need to finish numbering the streets, and they need to build the overlays for all the various voting and districts. So you have to build overlays for every JP office, commissioner, school district, city, water district, ESD. All of them have to be built over this map so that we know that who is in what district. And that's the part that's left to be done. The voter registrar's office wanted it done by the end of December. Obviously, my staff are a little busy to drop everything and work on it nonstop. So he requested that I get a quote to have someone come in and finish it for us. And that's the quote and the agenda item that you have before you right now.
Okay.
But I don't have enough money for it, so he would need to pay for it.
Yeah. Rick?
Yeah.
You brought your checkbook, right? Okay. Yes, sir, please.
It's about the tax assessor collector.
I'm coming as the voter registrar at this point, and just like Ms. Chambers said, this is a system that has been purchased in the history, I think, starting back in 2021. This has kind of been a back and forth discussion since about the 2nd of December, and so if you allow me, I'd like to give a little bit of background and then come up with what I propose at this point for the court to consider. Like Lee mentioned, this is something that was purchased back in December 21 under the reign of Clint Bush. Basically spent $38,000 to purchase this equipment, and it was to provide a GIS system to manage streets. And of course, as voter registrar, we're responsible for assigning people to, finding out when people where they vote by where they live. And of course, simple as county judge or my position, everybody in the county votes, so it's not as particular. But to decide precinct 1, if they're voting, for Gerald, or precinct 3 or 2 or 4, we need to know specifically, and it depends on what street they live on. In some cases, you could live on one street. I know this happened back precinct 1 back in Dayton several years ago. One street, you could vote for Commissioner 4. The end of the street, you voted for Commissioner 1 because it split. 1409 split the precinct. So it's important to know which one. And then this information is used to create the OLVR, which is the official voter list, registration list that the election office uses to define who gets certain ballots. They have their ballot styles. So again, it's a back and forth. Elections do certain things, voter registrar does certain things. And like I said, in 2021, as the EA, Clint Bush was the election administrator. So at that point, he covered voter registration and elections.
Right.
And prior to that, I was the voter registrar, Lee was the clerk, so we each had our separate functions, but when the county went to election administrator, they were combined, and then we surrendered both of those. Of course, later on, that position was dissolved, so it came back to me as voter registrar, and elections went back to Lee, and that's what we're operating currently under. So $38,000 was spent. Then when actually $26,000 was spent to get this program reactivated, because it appears that when we took it back over, we realized that they had purchased $38,000. We were trying to get the GIS information from the Central Appraisal District. By the way, the court pays the CADs $90,000 a year to do 911 addresses. So we thought that'd be convenient. You know, surely if we send out a tax statement and they pay taxes, they ought to be able to vote for certain things. So that was kind of what we would go through. If we had some question, we'd concede if they pay taxes, like they pay drainage taxes, or if they pay, school taxes and these
Hospital
things.
district, anything.
So it kind of followed. So it's important to know, again, what street they lived on, what address they lived on. And it's a constant thing that you keep up with. Of course, in preparing for the March primary, we knew we were going to have several positions, and it's a constant thing to update. So when we found out that the software for CAD was not compatible to our software, we couldn't convert it over. Nick tried to do it several times, but it just wasn't reading or something. So it's a hand look, you look them up, and it's a pretty tedious process when you have this many changes. That's a year-round project. So basically when we came in and looked at the system that was actually, I think it was brought before the court in May of 25. And that's when is to discuss and approve the renewal and upgrade of the GIS mapping software by International Computer Works, the same company that was purchased by Clint back in 21. At the time, we looked at getting back with that operation and see if we could use that equipment, but they had outstanding invoices like $4,500. They wanted so much money to keep it up each year. We opted not to renew it. We could have gone in because we knew we'd have to have training and all that stuff. So we passed on it. And then in May of 25, actually the court took action to renew that, to get it upgraded, to get it going. So they came in and had some training in July, basically purchased 2 licenses, one for the county clerk to be able to build the program and one for the election office to build the program. As voter registrar, we didn't have a license. We didn't need a license. We just need to have access to the to the technology to be able to look up streets. So naturally, we were glad to see the purchase because we then had a working product. So training started in July, which meant they had to build the program. They got training on how to build this. They bought the software, but we didn't buy the program from them. We built it internally, and that was fine, getting it done. So probably around the 1st of December, we got a call from the election office saying, hey, we need the OLVRs updated. We'd like to have them by January 15th so we can get ready for the primary. I'm like, yeah, that's no problem. Trying to get an app update. When will we have the GIS system up and running? And at the time, they said, well, we're working on it. We're adding the streets. Just like, Ms. Chambers said, they're inputting the stuff. And then you have to go in and put the layers and all that stuff. And again, we depend on the GIS to have a quicker way to look it up. Without having the GIS, and we haven't had a GIS, really in operation since I've been, voter registrar. We just kind of contact CAD and just figure it out and do different things. So the GIS system would be very helpful to speed that process up. So we inquired, what's the status, and said, we're still working on it. So like I said, we know it's a busy time, having to build the program. Had the training in July. So our response was, well, what's the status of the GIS system? And we said, we're still working on it. So we're trying to see, can we speed that up when we think we'll have it? So at the time, they reached out and made a quote to the company who we purchased it from, it was originally purchased. And they said it would cost like $10,500 to do it. In 2 weeks, they would get the first layer done. And then by January 30th, they would complete the different overlays. And actually that would help us, but probably to really get all of our stuff updated, it's a year-round project. You just keep getting changes, you keep adding to it. You never really have a perfect model. You try to get as much stuff done as you can. So that kind of leads up to where we are today. What can be done to help get it closer to using that. But in the meantime, we're still updating it. We're updating it each day, and we'll continue to update it probably the next 6 to 8 months to get these things as accurate as we can. We were in the process for the constitutional amendment election, but being a small turnout, I mean, it wasn't as, because you didn't have very many layers that you had to look at. People were voting for elections. There may have been some local elections like the liquor bill and some school elections or whatever, but it really didn't affect the whole county. So basically just trying to figure out how do we get that done. Then it was presented that we got the bid for $10,500. But just like the original intent of getting this program, it really wasn't a voter registration total project. This was for the clerk, this is for elections, it's for the permit department and other deals. In fact, that was part of the motion when in May of 25, it was purchased for, the permit office, voter registration, clerk's office, and elections office and other county offices. So again, to get this program up to speed quicker, it would help. It's not going to prevent us from mailing out voter registration cards or anything else. It's just to help it go along. I know it's proposed that we take this money out of Chapter 19. We got the request like on December 5th. We had to reach out to the state because I wasn't sure if this was an eligible expense. So we had to send it up to the elections, the state secretary of state. And we got back a response on December 8th, and they said basically, if you feel like it's part that you need it and it's part of your deal, we'd like you to see a percentage of what you think contributes to the voter registrar versus non-voter registrar. But it could be considered eligible. So once we got that information, they said it depends on how you view it. And then you have to certify that spending this money, you basically assert that it does improve the efficiency of the voter registrar's office and the process of getting voters registered and identified. So I feel like, it does benefit us. First of all, I don't have $10,500 in Chapter 19 money. This is allocated to us once a year. Every other year one year we get 18,000, next year we get 2,300. And it's vice versa. When you have an election year, you get the bigger money because you're doing mail outs, you're doing a lot more voter cards and a lot more expenses. At this point, I have around $10,100 in Chapter 19 fund. And I know it's proposed that we pay for the $10,500. In my opinion, I feel like I can certify that we could offer 50% of that, which would be $52.50. I do not feel like I can. First of all, I don't have the 10.5 to pay. I won't be getting any more money till like June. That's when we'll get our allocation for the election. So while this was put on the agenda with the intent of us trying to get it out of Chapter 19 after we researched it. For one thing, we don't have the money, and we don't feel like that I can certify that we would be 100% benefactor of that, along with others. So at best, I feel like we would, at this point, If this is contingent on it coming from chapter 19, it's not there. So that means it's going to come from some other department or some other funding. And the other point is, I have some contingencies, even if I can support it for the 5,200. And basically is, I have to get it paid, and then I have to get it reimbursed by chapter 19. They don't just write me a check for it. So someone has to pay the 5,200 in this case before I can send in the paid receipt and then request it once I certify it. It's the same thing we do with any other expense. If we get reimbursed for employees' expenses, payroll pays it, we send the check, and then they cut it back, the money, and it goes back into the budget. It's not an account that I have at Prosperity Bank that's got $10,000 in it. This is all held in trust with the state, Secretary of State, and then there's a strenuous process where you certify, you show the proof, they review it, and then they send it back. So I don't want to come in here today saying, yeah, 5,250 is going to be paid. If you pay 5,250, I'll be able to get chapter 19. So it's a contingency that probably needs to be discussed, figured out, and quite honestly, getting it done at the end of December is not going to benefit us any more than, yeah, we get it done and the election office doesn't have to complete it. It's a benefit. We have use of it a little quicker, but the real thing won't be done till January 30th, which by that time, we better have some other stuff done, getting ready for the primary that's going to be in March. But again, it's a continuous process. We're already eliminating some of the things by doing it in person. And the other underlying thing that kind of kicks in, the whole team system that the Secretary of State runs on has been revamped. And they totally did away with the old one. So now it's kind of a trial and error. They do it, oh, we don't have that fixed, you can't do this. It's every day we try something new, we can't do. So that's another unknown that we don't, that we're kind of dealing with. But everybody, elections dealing with it, we're dealing with it as well. It's a program that's being revamped for the whole state. So it's going to create some concerns even in developing ballot styles and all these things. Right now, we're looking at 285 different ballot styles, which that's very expensive. If we can't reduce those, it's going to make the election much more expensive. And again, that's the goal, trying to reduce those, narrow those. And a ballot style change means you may have one street with two people living on it. So they have to get a different ballot style than the person down the road. Again, that's getting into the weeds, probably a little more than we need to, but that's the transition that's going on right now. And for me to come in and say 10,500 needs to be spent on this, it's after reviewing it and checking with the Secretary of State, it's really not going to benefit us enough to say, do it 5,200. We can commit to that because it's going to help get it ready, and it'll be ready quicker for us to use throughout the year.
So let me ask this. So this is a discovery expense. This is something you guys, we couldn't see coming for the budget year.
Well, this is something that was necessary,
but it's necessary to have the election.
Well, let me, when looking back at the history on it, when it was actually brought before the court to spend the $23,000 to buy the product, it was decided at that point that election staff and court staff would build this program that we're talking about now, spending $10,000 to get it done quicker. And it's been since July. We still don't have use of it. We've had this program since 2021. We still can't use it. And now we're talking about, we spent $38,000, we spent $23,000, another $10,000. We're in over $70,000 on a program we still, it's getting there, but we still can't use it at the voter registration office to complete our stuff or to do it quicker. Eventually, it would be nice to have, and eventually, if we don't hire this firm who sold us the product to begin with, and again, if we would have paid them to develop it at the initial deal, but we didn't pay them to do it at that time, now they're coming back from Florida, they're going to come in here, program it, and then they have to train us how to use it.
Mhm.
You know, elections office knows how to use it. My office hasn't had any training. We expect the election office is going to train us to do that. So again, there's some things that are going to eventually be useful to our office. I don't mind dedicating the 5250, provided that the state's going to approve the reimbursement. If for some reason they say it's not reimbursable, I can't fulfill that 5250 to the court, but it's going to have to be paid before I can actually send it. It's kind of a catch-22 type thing.
But you're in favor of spending
I'm
this
in favor,
10.5.
well, to the point that it would make it would be available to us quicker to use, but it's not like we have to do it. If not, we'll just keep doing what we're doing.
How much does the permit department use this? Or do y'all?
They're using our maps out of our Eagle program right now as we're inputting them into the system.
Okay.
But they will use it once it's in place.
We're only using the CAD maps right now.
Yeah.
Well, I gave you access to the Eagle maps.
Yeah, because I know when we talked about this in May or so, we had talked about the permit department using it for
Right.
their new maps and for giving permits and stuff on. And how far are we away from that? And how much more money are we having to spend on this thing?
Well, the money was to buy the software and to renew the software. The people on my staff have been building the database, and you have to build the database before you can actually use it. Once it's built, all of the roads, all of the subdivisions, all of the breakdowns of those entities into their various precincts will be in that system, and everyone will use it. Permits, you guys for roads, it'll be available to everyone. However, it has to be built. We did not put money in there to have someone else outside of Liberty County build it. It was always under the, that we would build it in-house. Now, my guys have other jobs to do besides, nobody's a dedicated worker on this database. So they've been doing it as they can. They've gotten, quite a long way with it.
But this 10,500 is to complete that job.
Is to complete the job, to get it. No, well, okay. It would get it up to date. We would continue to maintain it and layer on the maps. Every time you guys approve a subdivision, that's a bunch of roads that we have to input into that system. So as they've been coming in, we've been adding them. Adrian, John put them in. Darian's been building the substructure. It's been worked on and it's come a long way, but it was never a system that, outsiders were going to come build it for us. It was always going to be Liberty County has to build it.
So it's not a question of whether we need it, it's where we're going to get the other $5,250.
Well, it's an issue of, no one until a couple of weeks ago said, oh, we need it right now. We've been building it and trying to get it ready for a while now. It's a system that will benefit the county, but there was never any deadline on when it had to be completed. That deadline was created 2 weeks ago. To meet that deadline, I got a quote from the company and gave it to Mr. Brown. But we're moving on like we've always moved on with it. We don't need it in that big of a hurry, but they said they do. And for record, those ballot styles, 270, 280, whatever they're at, we normally have 40, and it will cost a lot of money unless they clean that mess up.
Well, Natalie, is there a place we can look to get the other portion of the funding?
Well, and Judge, I do.
It sounds like you need 10.5
we need
though now.
10.5.
You need it
with the idea
right
that
now.
if I get reimbursed, because you got to spend the 10.5 if we're going to pay these guys to come in and get this done. Because quite honestly, it's been since July and we still don't have it done. And we have a primary in March, so it would assist us in trying to get these streets updated and try to reduce some of these ballot styles. Again, it said it's a back and forth trying to get it quicker. But these things and then with the teen system being down and then redone, we just got a key yesterday that we can actually delete streets. We've been trying to delete some streets for months. They finally called and said, oh, we finally got the delete button. Now you can start deleting streets. So we're getting progress kind of at a slow crawl. And it's everyone in the state. I mean, this isn't particular to Liberty County. I mean, but we checked with Chambers, Jefferson. They have a developed GIS system in place that their voter registrars have access to. That helps in the system. It doesn't do it for you, but it makes it a little more manageable. And to say that we needed a deadline, we basically looked into it, and then we need to see if it's something that's eligible, finding out that it's a, percentage. And again, we can't say that it's because we don't even have a license. So they were even questioning if we could even say it was a voter expense because we don't have a license in our office. And we don't need a license. Obviously, the license is through the clerk and through the elections.
Mhm.
And as long as we can get it on our equipment in our office, we're fine with it. And they said that's where it was a little tricky to say you don't have it, but if you think it helps your efficiency and all that, we think it'll be approved. Until it gets approved, we can't write you a check back to replenish you. So like Gerald said, I think you have to find somebody who's willing to commit the 10-5 to get that project with the idea that there's a good likely chance we'll be able to contribute 5250 of it once this process gets approved.
So we have over 60,000 invested right now. We need another 10-5 to make it operable. That's what you're saying.
To make it usable by our office, for sure.
Okay.
And it's been around since 2021. And obviously it went idle for several years till it was reactivated in,
6 months ago.
like in May of 25.
Well, it seems to me that getting it operable, we get a little bit more teamwork out of the deal, and that's going to be a bigger bang for our buck. So now the question gets down to, we're going to come up with 10-5, Natalie, or just 10-5 you got?
Yeah.
How about that?
What's that?
She's got 10-5.
We're good.
All right.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
With the provisions that we do have the money to pay for this from the auditor's office.
Thank you, Bruce. Got a motion from Bruce to
Second.
approve.
Okay.
No, actually, it was
I
really
just want to
good.
clarify, Natalie, you're going to pay the 10-5 and he's going to reimburse half of it through
Chapter 19.
Chapter 19. Okay.
Okay. Although we do have 10-5 in case he is turned down on
Correct.
Chapter
But
19.
he can't get it without
Yeah.
the 10-5
Yeah.
period. So.
Okay. All right. There's a motion from Bruce, second from who?
David.
David. Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Because I think we got that horse pretty well
Thank you.
looked at.
A whole lot more than what we started with.
No, but the cool thing is now we know how it works.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
With some issues that have come up with the Liberty County Water Control Improvement District #1, would this program help us to correct issues and help us keep up with our taxation? If I'm wording that, I apologize. But is this something that we could have access to? And the reason I'm asking, we might be able to help out with financial responsibility. To make sure that everybody is paying to the proper drainage district. We've uncovered numerous issues.
Well, and I'm sure Lee can address the deal, but, we're talking about a confidential database for voter information that this is feeding into. So I'm not, prepared to address the benefit to the outside. I know it's a benefit to the voter
We're a
registrar.
government facility.
Yes, but again, I'm not in a position to answer that. I'm not saying I can't answer it. I'm just saying what we're dealing with is a voter, this is access to voter information so that we can determine where they live.
Each of us on the board are elected, we are part of the board.
Yes, sir. I'm not
So,
saying
hey,
we can't, but that's a legal issue. I would refer that.
So the question is, Ricky, I think, that can you provide an overlay once you have the information to LCWCD #1? Because they're a taxing entity out on the far western end of the
Those are
county.
voting districts, and
Yeah.
that is what we will be putting on here, and we will be
That's something they'll
updating.
provide.
This will be a system that's subject to public information requests and system that we will use to set up your elections. So yes, it will help you somewhat. If you have some issues with your boundaries and stuff, that's something that needs to be addressed with the voter registrar and the Texas Secretary of State. But once you resolve those, we will build them in, and they will be part of the election system we use to run, for your district.
Well, the point I'm getting at, being this is a government working together, which I like to see.
Mhm.
If we are responsible, or should be responsible for part of that 10-5, I can bring it up to the board. You might be able to throw a nickel in there or something.
Pretty good deal there. Well, now we got folks wanting to donate to us. I'll take that, Natalie. Okay. But yeah, thank you, Scott. I do appreciate that. We do have a motion and a second and lots of discussion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Brother Rick. Okay. Moving right on down to 8.7 from Ms. Chambers, consider and approve integration of Tyler Technology Court Management System with the e-court program from the Texas Office of Court Administration in the amount of only $1,500 today. Lee?
Okay, this is a system that we're being given by the Office of Court Administration. It's one they want us to implement. What it will help do is make sure that people on bond show up for their hearings. It will be a condition of their bond, or it should be, they want the courts to make it a condition of their bond that they register for the system, and the system will send them emails and text messages saying, hey, you have court on, December 16th. And it will be part of a new PSRS and reporting system that's related to new constitutional amendments that passed, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of complicated, but we will have to do it. This part, the integration with Odyssey, is for the court coordinators more than anything, because what it will do is when they create their dockets, it will automatically tie to the defendants that are on the e-court notification system and let them know. Otherwise, the court coordinators will have to enter it by hand. And I don't think we want them to do that. That's a lot of work. So I'm asking to get $1,500 to integrate it into Odyssey so that e-court will be a seamless system for the court coordinators to put in with their dockets, and the defendants can participate, and we can make this part of the new bail bond system they're building.
And where is this money coming from?
That's a good question. If you need me to pay for it for out of records management, I'm happy to do that. But this is a countywide court case system program. There is court case money. There's court funds, right?
I spoke to Dwayne about this particular one already, and he said there was funding for it.
Okay, so they've identified a funding source for it, but it is a necessary expenditure, I think. And I think all of the court coordinators would stand up and say amen. So.
Amen.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. See how good it gets when we just sit here and talk about it in a minute. Just money just flying in from every corner. Okay. Number 8.8 from Ms. Chambers, discuss and approve an increase in poll worker hourly pay to be $15 an hour for the election scheduled for 2026, including the joint primary election. Yeah, I can see there's a need to give them a raise because it's going to get tougher.
We're paying $12 an hour. All of the surrounding counties are at 15, 18. Look at Harris County, they're at 25, 28. Our poll workers know it, and
Make a motion to approve.
yeah, there you go. No discussion, we need it.
I already got a motion. It was so fast you didn't hear it. From David, and I believe that was Gerald.
No,
I got to say.
Bruce on the second.
over there.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote. All in favor? Likewise, nays. 15 it is, Lee.
Yeah, thank you. They're going to be very happy about
Good.
that. So
Okay.
They work very hard. They really do.
And they do. They do.
Yeah, they do. Long hours.
And all this time, I thought you was sleeping over there.
Yeah. He's on a roll. Okay. Item number 8.9 from Ms. Chambers, discuss and approve contracting with the Liberty County Republican Party and the Liberty County Democratic Party to conduct a joint primary election on May 3rd, 2025, and authorizing the signing of these contracts by Lee Hottishek Chambers, our county clerk, as the Liberty County election official. Okay.
We normally do a joint election, primary election. I wanted to have them ready today and ready for you guys to sign, but we're still working on a couple of locations. We're trying to get a new one in Romare, and we're also trying to look at the Northwest Annex and see if that might be a better location. Our Santa Fe location is very tight, very small. So I don't have them quite ready, but it is the same exact language we used last year, with the exception that we're going to pay 15 an hour, and we will have a couple of changes in polling locations. We will have to consolidate 26 and 7, but that shouldn't be a problem. Everyone's agreed to that. So what I'm asking you is just permission to let me go ahead and complete the contracts and get them done as soon as we get the ballot draw done, which I think is the 18th. They're going to draw the names on the 18th, so we should have contracts and programming starting the day after that. But
Matthew, you haven't,
Oh, yeah, so this is ready for a motion then?
it's a what?
Is this ready for a motion then?
Yes.
I was
No,
just trying to
it's
understand.
just to let me go ahead and sign the contracts once they're complete. The language isn't changing. It's
some details.
Yeah, it's some details in the language. It's the standard Secretary of State contract. It's the same one we used. In fact, all I did was search and replace 25 with 20, with 20, I just changed the numbers basically from 23 to 25,
Okay.
from 24 to 26. But it's until we iron down these last 2 locations, I can't complete it. You can authorize Jay to do it, but if you just authorize me to do it, we can crank it right out, get the 2 primary chairman to sign it. And 2-party chairman to sign it. And I'll sign it and then we can get it executed.
well, it's
But
an
pretty
issue
standard
that,
stuff.
it is an issue that's time sensitive. So
Yes,
Why does
we're
it-
at Christmas and I just wanted to try to get it done without having to call you guys back.
Why does the motion have something to conduct a primary May of 25?
Did I put May of 25? Oh, sorry. March.
Of?
My bad. It's March.
March of 26.
March.
All right, I was
20,
confused.
yes,
the whole
no.
thing.
I'm a bad person about cut pay, so sorry about that.
I move
Okay.
we approve this one with the correction of the
Of the-
typo.
Yes.
March.
March 3rd, 26.
Motion from Greg. They're here second.
Second.
Second from David. Any further discussion?
Matt, I'm happy to let you look them over real quick if you want to. I was just trying to get it
Oh, yeah.
where we
no,
could
that's fine.
execute it quicker.
I just want to make sure that whatever motion was made was adequate to get.
Yeah, standard contract just with some changes and
Yeah, sure.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
thank you.
Thank you. Item number 10 through,
The Miss Soliday Hour.
it is. Probably 10 through 16, okay. Permits and inspections, consider and approve progress payment number 6 from C&A Construction LLC in the amount of $260,323.51 for the ARPA funded, again, we're going to say that, ARPA funded sewer system improvements for the city of Ames using ARPA funds. All packets attached, sign as required.
It's pretty much
We just about got this wrapped up.
just about, I'm not sure how close Ames is to being at the end, but I know the Hardin one is getting really, really close to being at the end.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce,
Second.
second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Excuse me. Item number 811 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve progress payment number 7 from C&A Construction LLC in the amount of $388,192 for the ARPA sewer system improvements for the city of Ames using ARPA funds. All backups attached in the packet and sign as required.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 812 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve Gemini Section 1 reinspection.
I need to withdraw this item. It has already been approved by Commissioners Court.
Yeah.
Back on.
Make a motion to take no action.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. Take no action. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays.
I
That motion.
apologize.
Thank you. Item number,
Back-to-back agendas are kicking me.
yeah, 813.
Really put on there 2 times and
Then not.
Yeah. Is consider and approve LJ Engineering's invoice to the county, Liberty County Old Fresh Water Supply Water Well Project Services in the amount of $5,703.85 using ARPA funds.
Have they started drilling this well yet?
They were waiting for the equipment to be finished over at Hardin so they could move it over to the Hull location.
I'll second that motion.
Wait, who made the first?
Who had the motion? Greg?
Okay.
Boy, we're getting way out there today. Thank you. Motion from Greg, second from Bruce. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor? Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Number 814 from Ms. Soliday, consider and approve estimate payment request number 9 to King Solution Services LLC in the amount of $25,750.80 for the ARPA-funded City of Hardin sanitary sewer rehab. All backup signed in the packet for your review as required. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
Motion from Greg,
I'll second.
second from Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 815. Had to add a little extra money. Is that correct there, Melinda? It's-
Yes, sir. I mistakenly took a $232.40 off of the first invoice, thinking it was not allowable, but found out later it was allowable. So the full invoice has been approved by the City of Hardin.
Okay, so consider and approve LJ Engineering invoices for the City of Hardin wastewater engineering services in the amount of $26,449.43.
It'll be $26,681.83.
16.
Did I not count right?
Okay, we adding or subtracting, y'all? Going up.
Okay.
So the
All right.
correct amount is 27,445.68.
All right. Again, even at that amount, using ARPA funds, the copies of the invoices are attached in the packet for review. What say the court? With the addition, correct?
With the correction.
Okay. Motion from Greg, second from Bruce. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor? Likewise, nays. That motion does carry. Thank you, gentlemen. 816, just one more to go here, Melinda. Hang with me. Consider and approve payment to Schaumburg and Pope for invoice 12901.0026 for $4,950, or is it $4,091? As I'm showing, that's
It should be 4,950.
yeah. Okay, so
Yes.
okay, 4,950.
Yes, sir.
Number 12901.0027 for $3,960. Again, for the AIM Sanitary Sewer Improvement Project using ARPA funds. The amount of 8,910, that's going to be incorrect there, Natalie. So you got your calculator handy?
Actually, that is correct.
That is correct. Okay.
That part's correct.
All right.
Make a motion to approve the total amount.
Okay. Okay, motion from Bruce.
I'll second.
Is that a second, Gerald?
Yes.
Okay. So the amount's going to be $8,910. That's correct.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor? Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
And we're going back and forth on these invoices.
817 from Mr. C. Stephanie, I see you're here today. If you'd help us. consider and approve the lease renewal with Pitney Bowes for the mail machine for the Cleveland Annex at a cost of $413.59 a month for 60 months. That's a 5-year term. Okay.
That's correct. It expires at the end of this month. So.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Greg, from Bruce. Second from David. Further discussion?
Is this an increase from the last contract?
I do not know. I'm sorry, I did not work on this here. Harold put it together.
Okay. All right, we got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor? Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 818 from Mr. C and Stephanie. Acknowledge this list of items sold in the online auction and accept the check from Renee Bates Auctioneers Incorporated in the amount of $27,362.20. It wasn't bad for getting rid of some stuff.
It's pretty good. Heather's been working diligently with auction and the departments, and I think she's got a good system going.
Will that be made out to precinct 1?
Hey.
Second.
Motion from Craig. Second from Bruce. And now that's going to go into the county judges.
Yeah.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Yes, and it's Stephanie. I know this question is going to go to you, so I'll have to go to the auditor's office. So Bruce was already trying to deposit that check. Of that 21,276 came from the graveyard at precinct 4.
Okay.
And so I would like to know to which account, how will this be so that distributed back to precinct for use on road and bridge? Because that's how this equipment was purchased sometime way in the past.
Right. So typically what happens when we have an auction like this, the money comes into our other income account and then a budget amendment is done to put it back into your precinct.
Okay, great. Because Bruce already had his hands on it. I saw it.
That's typically the way to do it. That's the way to do it at this time.
Yeah, but Gerald went full buzzard mode on that one. Okay.
So get with Dwayne on your budget amendment.
I will.
Okay. So we got a motion from Greg, second from Bruce to accept. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Number 819 from Stephanie. Consider and declare as salvage the list of items not sold on online auction. I bet there's some good ones there.
A fax machine.
A fax
was the only
machine.
thing that did not sell this time.
Do people still use fax machines? I'm just kind of
I
curious.
don't think so.
Do a little.
Do a little. Okay. All right.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion from Bruce.
Second.
Second from David. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 820 from Mr. C and Stephanie. Consider and approve the purchase of 3 new Tahoes with upfitting in the amount of $225,341.10 from Parkway Chevrolet through Goodbye Contract number 258F000 and Buy Board Contract number 698-23 for the Sheriff's Office. Pretty self-explanatory. Sheriff, you need some new Tahoes, right?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from David. Second from Greg. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 821 from Stephanie. Consider and approve proposals for the county jail security system upgrade in the amount of $1,039,457.27 from Gordian with F.H. Paskin through Sourcewell QZ1QC contract number TXR2 GC 0521424 FHP for the current Liberty County Jail.
That is correct.
Stephanie, is this part of the 6 million that we had originally budgeted for? This is part of that?
Yes, sir.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from Bruce, second from David. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 820.
Judge, I'm sorry. I want to let the court know that FHP is here. Y'all would like to talk to them about anything going on at the jail. They're also doing the HVAC upgrade.
Okay, y'all are
I'm
here.
so sorry.
Yeah.
Jordan? Yes, we're here. Hi.
Howdy. Well, come up and introduce yourself. We're going to spend $1 million with you. I'd kind of like to know who you are.
$39. We want a speech.
More than that, they're doing the HVAC project also.
Oh, okay.
Howdy. How are you doing? Pleased to meet you,
Nice
man.
to meet you.
All right.
Mike Carroll.
Mike, good to see you.
Danielle Smith with
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so, Mike, you want to kind of run down for the current HVAC?
I'm Mike Carroll, local here, live in Dayton, lived in Liberty County for many years. We're currently working with FH Passion. We're doing your HVAC project. It's going real well. They believe we're ahead of schedule. Look to be turning everything on this next week before Christmas. So that's a good sign.
Even better.
Control starting today. That was the biggest questionable thing we had. There was a lot of unknowns for that system. What we believe we'll be able to get the existing system back up and running where they control everything from the front end. So that's a good sign. We're in tabs for testing ballots next week. So things are good there.
Bobby? Sheriff? How's everything going all right over there?
So I do appreciate you guys coming because one of the things we noticed is there's like $700,000 detailed in the west wing and only $340,000 of that in the east wing. So what's the difference? I mean, I have no idea.
Was it one of the wings, one that caught fire and we had more money or from the insurance company on
It
that?
actually includes like all of the servers and like a full, all the workstations for all of the staff. That's all included in phase one. So that's gonna get you basically all set up to basically include phase two and what you've already set up for phase one.
That's the front end.
Yeah, the front end work for it.
All the services.
So it was included in the west wing deal?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
that's the difference.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Good
you.
call. And we've had them split things up, like they're doing the HVAC right now in the west wing. We will still have an east wing HVAC quote coming up from them. And so you understand who we're talking to. This is Gordian. They basically monitor FHP. FHP monitors the people that they have hired or gotten quotes from to come out and do the work. So we've got,
Make sure it gets
yeah,
done correctly.
we've got a watchdog.
Yes.
We've got a project coordinator
Okay.
who manages everything going on.
Good.
So I want to introduce myself to the court. My name is Danielle Smith. I'm the representative from Gordian. We are your job a consultant provider for this project or any projects that Stephanie wants us to assist in this upgrading the jail system. So we are here. We brought FH Passion to the table to do this project for you guys. So just if they have any questions, I'm here for all of your questions and concerns in regards to this job program.
We appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys and make sure you guys get a full operable system.
That's what we're hoping for. Okay.
Got it.
Good deal. Mike, good to have you with us today. Thank you. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 822, 23 and 24 and 25 are all from Mr. Poston. It's 4 ESDs. That's what I'm looking at. So Matthew, we're going to keep these on the regular session, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So 822 is consider and approve annual contract with Kennewick Volunteer Fire Department for firefighting services through September 2026. Okay.
Matthew, this is just an extension of last week where we went over different changes that you made. And does everybody seem to be happy with these changes?
Yes, yeah, they're what we addressed. I wanted to present this to y'all first before presenting to them ultimately, but it's in line with my discussions with them. I've made some changes. I emailed the court a draft of this last night. I've made some minor changes since then. I'm happy to go through them, but yeah, it's now this is with the volunteer fire departments.
Correct, not the ESD.
And I'm still not in favor. I'm still in favor of contracting with ESD, not the fire department.
And so, you know, if the full court wants me to go in the direction of the ESD, that's what I'll do. It's still our recommendation to contract with the fire departments themselves, but we'll do whatever the court wants.
So y'all know this is a really hot button issue, and I think what we heard, the court heard that we might not even be legal to contract with ESDs. Is that right?
No, that's we can contract with ESDs. You can. It's a different method.
Okay. Because I've looked at the surrounding counties, and only one of the surrounding counties does not contract directly with an ESD, and that's Montgomery. But Chambers, Harris, Fort Bend, Hardin, Jefferson, they all have contracts with their fire ESD. So,
yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's improper or illegal to contract with ESD. It's just our recommendation because the volunteer fire departments.
You said the ones you checked did contract with the ESD.
Yeah, this is AI research. So,
yeah.
But I mean, if you trust Google, that's what Google says, that all but Montgomery County, and I don't know the reasoning behind Montgomery counties.
Well, different departments have different structure. Some ESDs have departments that report directly to the commissioners of the district. Others contract with a distinct entity, a volunteer fire department, you know, a 501c3 or whatever C category it is. And
if
so,
I understand right, the ESDs own all the equipment, all the fire, everything in the fire department. And the fire department is essentially controlled by the ESD. It's run by the ESD. If we got some ESD board members here, is that correct or not?
Yeah, the ESD owns everything.
Come up, please.
There's been case studies where. I'm Mark Neal. I'm the commissioner with the ESD 7 in Hardin. We have a contract with the volunteer fire department, and our contract with them is for them to provide the service that the ESD is responsible for. So the ESD brings in the tax dollars, they fund everything. So anything that tax dollars are spent on, the ESD owns. So our district would request that the ESD is the one that is contracted with. Because we can do away with the contract with the volunteer fire department at any time, and the volunteer fire department has no trucks, they have no station, they have nothing. Because our contract with them specifically says that they relinquish anything that they own to us. In addition to, because of the tax dollars that are spent on those items.
So it's still my recommendation. We believe that it makes more sense to go with volunteer fire departments, just like the ESD is doing with the volunteer fire department. But like I said, ultimately this is not an issue of illegality or anything like that. It's a question of policy. I give you both options. And so there is the argument that it's harder to track funds with the volunteer fire departments too. But that's also why we have a lot of the reporting requirements in these contracts. So if y'all tell me, I understood from last session that the item was being tabled. It was a VFD contract. So I thought that that's what the court wanted.
That was what was proposed to the court, was the VFD contracts instead of the ESD contracts. I mean, that's why we're on this road. I guess my question is, are the VFDs going to sign off on this contract?
I
we
believe so.
We can approve it all we want, but are they gonna sign off as well?
I believe so. I don't think it's their preference. They'd rather route things to the ESD. But,
Steve,
but
you
at the end of the day,
have something to add?
We held the county firefighter association meeting once a month. And it was explained to us at one of those meetings that the fire marshal cannot, was his words, contract with the ESD. That is illegal. So that's why there was no communication between the fire marshal and the volunteer fire departments, ESDs. It was just a plain no. So that's why we pursued the volunteer fire department contract.
so I think what the fire marshal is talking about is the chapter that creates his office, 352, is the one that also sets out that Commissioners Court may fund volunteer fire departments. And so that he's talking about the legality of funding volunteer fire departments through his office and being administered by him. There's still the other option of the Commissioners Court using the Interlocal Cooperation Act to contract with the ESD, just like we contract with the cities for various projects. We contract with school districts, etc.
We've been contracting with the ESDs for the last several years, and it's worked fine. I don't see it.
I believe it's been 6 years.
Huh?
I believe it's been 6 years.
6 years, whatever.
We've had a contract.
Was that when the ESD was created?
No, the ESD was created back in the original RFP, which is Rural Fire Prevention District, was created in the early 80s.
I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, that under prior agreements, the volunteer fire department was getting a contract, the VFD in your district as well as the ESD. Is that correct?
No, not that I'm aware of. We were getting paid direct. The ESD was getting paid direct.
We were paying some ESDs directly.
Yeah.
ESDs were getting
Yeah.
But there were also agreements with the volunteer fire departments in those areas.
But we do have volunteer fire departments that are not under the jurisdiction of the ESD.
Correct.
Not in the
But
ESD
in
district.
Correct.
in the
That's
past,
that are not in
ESDs
the
have been
ESD
getting
district.
money
Yeah.
through a
That's whole different
contract.
ballgame.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
But those same volunteer fire departments within those ESDs were also getting money.
Yeah.
And maybe that's incorrect. But in any event, in any event, the court can choose either through Interlocal Cooperation Act or through 351 to do it that route.
So the 4 volunteer fire departments that fall under the realm of an ESD, we would contract with the ESD, but the other volunteer fire departments straight to them because they had no ESD to cover them.
So, yeah, that's what the ESDs apparently are wanting, is us to contract with the ESDs. So we would pay the ESD, and then those dollars would be sent to the VFDs through them. So we would be contracting indirectly with the service provider.
Yeah.
But if we don't approve this, are we kicking the can down the road?
On behalf of ESD 7.
Understand? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think each ESD is.
I mean, we wanted to get a contract so we can begin the payments, right?
That's
the thing. So,
May I ask for a clarification? So you're talking about an interlocal agreement between the Commissioners Court and the ESDs versus, is this annual contract between the fire marshal and the volunteer fire department?
It's still Commissioners Court,
It's
but
still
it's
Commissioners.
administered through the fire marshal with the volunteer.
Okay, I just was
But yeah,
confused
that's-
about that.
Yeah, otherwise correct.
so we have someone with Kennefic. If we approve this, will you sign this contract?
As long as it reflects the changes that we discussed last week and those along.
Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah, it does. So
everything
yeah,
is.
we can go through it. Yeah,
So you want to hit those highlights?
absolutely.
So-
Yeah. So there were, I think, three changes that were requested. Under monthly report, under 9, they wanted the monthly budget to be changed to an annual budget. And so I've moved that reporting requirement to 8G. Then the other issue was criminal background requirements. We have changed that a little bit so to reflect what we discussed last time, which is they have to do the background checks. That is the volunteer fire department or the ESD, if that's the method the court chooses. And they have to supply that background check to the fire marshal. And we are using the standards set forward by the Texas Commission on Fire Protection. So there is a standard, not entirely arbitrary way of doing that. And then I made I changed the authority section because it's volunteer fire department to chapter 352. 352. 352. I was right. There we go. Said it wrong there earlier. And then also cleaned up a little language under 12D to make it clear that if for any reason this contract is terminated, the department still has their existing duties that they have without regard to any contract to the citizens in their area. So
I don't understand why we're contracting the fire department when they don't own nothing. They don't pay for nothing. The ESD pays for it.
So if in my opinion, if the ESD owns the department, if it's an ESD managed department, then we would contract with them. That would make the most sense. Here, if we use the ESD in this instance where there are 2 distinct entities, then we're paying money to the ESD and we cannot see. It's not, there's no obligation for them to even spend that money on the VFD. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't see what you're saying.
So if we contract with ESD, we could say they are obligating themselves to provide fire service, but they don't actually have to send the money that we give them to the volunteer fire department. They can just contract with the volunteer fire department at a reduced rate.
This money's earmarked for the VFDs.
That's correct. So that's why, that's the thing. That's my recommendation, but again, it's whatever the court wants to do.
Yes, sir, you have a question?
Yes, sir. My name is Caleb Anderson, Chief of the ESD3 Fire Department underneath the ESD3 Commissioner Board. To clarify a little bit of what we can do under our ESDs. Like under my contract, I have to answer to the ESD or what they allow me to do as far as even running mutual aid calls. That's why we say that going to the ESD is you're funding the district, whether my department is still contracted with the district or they contract Dayton, City of Montgomery, or whoever they decide to contract with. Their job is to provide a service inside the district. The VFDs can only do what the ESD allows us to do within our contract. If that makes a little bit more sense.
Would you rather have this contract through the ESD or through the volunteer fire department? As a fire chief.
I think it makes more sense to go to the ESD because to me, you're funding the district that has the power of emergency services in that area.
Yeah.
I could breach my contract, my ESD tomorrow, and we're gone in 7 days or however long, so on and so forth. They still got a district to cover. So those funds are coming to help run that area or the mutual aid of Liberty County.
The ESD is responsible for providing emergency services in that district. If they don't, and if they don't do what they're supposed to do, we can replace the board members in the ESD.
Yes, sir.
So we have control over the ESD. We don't have no control over the fire department.
Yes, sir. Whether my department's there or not, the same 5 board members have a job to do. We're just a contracted service.
Looks like we have an agreement to disagree, but I'm going to ask specifically for the Kennefic because it's in precinct 4. Will you sign this contract? We'll look at it and we'll see how it goes. And then we're going to start this process. We talked about June of this coming year so that we can
See it a
make
little bit
sure that
quicker.
everybody's aligned and the I's dotted and the T's crossed for the future.
The
Are you okay with that, Steve? Then I'll make the motion that we approve this contract with the Kennefic Volunteer Fire Department for firefighting services through September of this year.
Well, I think we ought to do all of them the same. But would it, if we approve this contract and amend it to ESD, can we do that under this deal, or we have to rewrite the contract?
I would have to change it, but it wouldn't be hard to change. Yeah, I mean, and I think it might take another agenda item. I hate to say it that way, but the way it's noticed, it's for Kennefic Fire Department.
Okay, so if we don't approve it, it won't get done until January. It'll just change the monthly payment, so that we get the full amount going to these folks. I'm ready to get this thing over with.
And I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that issue as well. That was something I changed so that it's an entire lump sum, but paid monthly, but a lump sum for the term of the contract, which begins at the execution of the contract and terminates at the end of the fiscal.
So no matter how long we forego this, they're still getting the same amount of
They
money.
can still get the same amount of money.
But if we don't sign today, then yes, it would be delayed. The payment would be
So
delayed.
are there going to be any financial hardships because with a delay?
But we need to come up with consensus on all the ESDs.
Agreed, yeah, and that's all I'm asking for. If the
And
court
not
votes
do
and tells
just
me,
one or.
that's how we'll do it.
Yeah, but we just got Hardin on there today.
Nope.
All the other ones, okay. Yeah.
The next commissioners meeting scheduled is January 13th. So that would be.
I would like to, I'd like to hear from all 4 ESDs. Personally, would like to hear from all of
So
them.
we have Mark, we have Steve. You're with the ESD as well.
Paul Marsh with the ESD group. I mean, we're not hurting for, I mean, it's not gonna affect us on the contract. I mean, is that what you want to know?
Does it, if we don't take an action today to start the payments, is this going to create a financial hardship?
No.
In which case somebody might not be able to respond to a fire.
No.
You know,
We're fine financially
Yeah.
to hold off. In addition to, with us being a government board, this contract has to go to our board, our meeting also. I can't just sign and approve it.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
So,
well,
there's nothing to delay regardless.
Yeah.
these particular departments, since they all fall under ESDs, that's only 30,000 apiece.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to break you by any means not to get it.
I just want
Right
to know
now,
when,
yeah.
when the call is placed, somebody's going to respond to a fire. That's what I'm concerned about.
So Gerald, your motion was to approve the annual contract with Kennefic Volunteer Fire Department, even though they're a member of an ESD, that you're going to approve the contract with the fire department.
I would just like to say, the reason we pursued the VFD contract is because we were told we cannot have an ESD contract, and clearly that's been hashed out to date.
Correct. Yeah, that's false.
Right, okay. So
We-
we were
we
led
can,
under false
yeah.
pretense that ESDs could not have a contract with the county.
Okay.
That's why we pursued the VFD contract.
Okay.
So where are we going to be with the ESD contract? Is that something that's can happen now? I mean, if that's the case, then gladly yes. But if it's not the case, we just want a contract and get out of this.
Yeah.
We've been fighting this for so long.
Oh, we've just been talking about it. We haven't been fighting. Matthew, what's your thoughts on this? They're willing to relinquish going with the fire department, go with the ESD.
Well, and I do want to reiterate, I mean, my office prepared the contracts in the past, and we had contracts with both VFDs and the ESDs in those areas.
Provide those, attorney?
Yeah.
For EFD 7 and Hardin the same year?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
So do we need time for you to redraw the contracts to have that verbiage in there?
Well, that wouldn't take long at all. The main issue is the notice on the agenda. Now, I understood from last meeting that we were moving forward with fire department contracts.
Yeah.
I'm happy to change it. We'll do that.
In which case, I was led to believe it was the only option.
Yeah.
We were too.
Okay.
I think everybody was at first.
Yeah.
So
Can we make a motion to approve the contract with the ESDs? Or we just have to
I think
I'll bring it
and come bring it back?
I think you have to do that because you don't have to notice, the right notice on the agenda.
But I just want to make sure before we bring this back again, volunteer fire departments, everybody's happy with the ESDs accepting this money.
That's the very first contract we originally wanted that we were told that we could not have.
So everybody would be all on board with that if we brought it back January, the second Tuesday in January.
You're gonna withdraw your motion?
Let's say we table this.
My Ken Fick group would like, that's what I will officially withdraw my motion.
I can make a motion, we table this and bring back up the first meeting in January.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion from Greg. Second from David.
Got somebody back there?
Could we, as soon as they're done, can we get the copy of the draft so we can go over it? And that way, when we come on the 13th, we can go ahead and sign it. We get 3 o'clock meeting.
Yeah.
It'll be once a month.
Yeah.
They should be all
If you would, do it and send it out.
No. Oh, you mean the
Yeah,
draft?
so if y'all are fine with that, then I'm absolutely fine with that.
And we would like a copy of it too.
Of course.
Yeah, I think this is the copy right here.
Okay.
These.
Got a motion to table. We're all together on this, right?
Correct.
We're gonna bring this rascal back up first meeting in January. All right. Motion from Greg, second from David. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Likewise, nays. And I don't hear a nay anywhere in the county right now. Okay. All right. Item number 23, same issue. This is going to be with Hardin Volunteer Fire Department. And of course, let's see, fire department, firemen. And of course, Hardin is an ESD as well.
Right.
Yes, sir. Okay.
We're still in support of the ESD.
Cool. All right. What say the court?
Make a motion for table.
Motion to table.
Second.
Greg. Second from Bruce. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Item number 24, same thing, but with Westlake. What say the court?
Make a motion to table.
Second.
A motion from Bruce, second from Greg. To table. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. And not to be left out, same thing on number 25, but with Holiday Zeta Volunteer Fire Department.
Make a motion to table.
Second.
Got a motion from Bruce, second from Greg. Table. Further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate y'all being here. We can get all this talked about. Yes, sir.
What about sometime putting together a workshop with all the ESDs, commissioners?
I believe we will be doing that before
Yeah.
we have the next
Yeah.
round of contracts in June. I think it'd be a great idea to sit down together and, I used to go to a lot of the fire department meetings with the fire association, but I quit getting notices a while back, so I don't know when you have them. But
Stop getting those notices also.
yeah,
I would like to have one. I would like to actually have one in January. All the ESDs, fire departments is involved with it.
Yeah.
And,
It would kind of be nice to discuss all of this.
and then the ESD attorneys, we're gonna.
Might as well do it while it's fresh in mind,
yeah.
Do what?
I said, might as well do it while it's fresh on our minds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna do it in January, and
Of course.
you'll have a contract made up for us to look at.
I'll have a contract made up to vote on with the ESCs, the same terms that I described today. and
Yeah.
get it done.
All right.
You got that week of the 5th that you can fix.
The
make it
good
within.
thing is that all 4 ESDs have the same lawyer, so we don't have a room full of lawyers.
Hallelujah. Boy, Vanessa, you're going to have fun with this one. Okay. All righty. Moving right along. Item number 826 from Mr. Post and Ms. McCarty. Consider and approve resolution accepting the purchase of security key cards from Syndaptic Incorporated at the amount of $140,864.04 for the Liberty County Jail from the bidding requirements pursuant to section 252.022A, and then 2, a procurement necessary to preserve and protect public health and safety of Liberty County residents. Catherine and Matthew, who wants to tackle this
So,
rascal?
Catherine can address the underlying purchase, and Bobby can describe all that. But this is simply a resolution exempting that purchase from the competitive bidding statute.
Okay.
So if you're going to or inclined to consider voting on the actual purchase, then you would need this exemption voted.
So do we already contract with Syndaptic?
We do. So, yes, we do. So if you recall, when we first started the repairs on the jail, what seems like a million years ago, we immediately started working with Syndaptic, and we had a quote for the key cards. And that original quote fell under the first exception, which was, it was immediately necessary, that unfortunately, that exception no longer applies because we are several months past that time. There was a change order for an additional $140,000 that you see here today. Both Matthew and I did not feel comfortable moving forward with that change order under the original exception, but the exception from Chapter 262, the purchasing, the bid process, that I do believe applies here is the one you have before you. And that's the resolution to declare this change order, necessary for public health and safety reasons.
So these are the same cards that we have already.
Yes.
We are already doing business with this company.
Yes, this is just a change
with
order.
These security measures.
Yes.
Every company has their own.
I can't find it now, but
like that.
there's some verbiage in here, right, too, about how these interlocks work differently. It's an enhanced safety feature. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I read something wrong there? Okay, well, I'll make the motion to approve these security cards from Syndaptic.
Second.
No,
The first item is for the resolution for the purchasing exception.
yes,
Yes.
you're accepting it from bidding rules,
Not the actual purchase.
not the actual purchase.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's your motion?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Who was
It's
the
the
second?
next item.
I hadn't had a second yet.
Okay.
But anybody that just wants
Oh, I
to
just
jump in there,
second.
okay. All right, Bruce. All right, got it. Motion from Gerald, second from Bruce to approve, accept, yes, accept.
The purchase.
I was having to read that one over and over. I said, accept what?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're accepting it from the
Yeah.
bidding law requirements
I got it.
based on the finding that the procurement is necessary to preserve and protect the public health, et cetera.
there it is. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Number 827 from Mr. Poston, Ms. McCarty, consider and approve the purchase of security key cards from Syndaptic Incorporated in the amount of $140,864.04 for the Liberty County Jail. Again, this is the piggyback version of the previous.
This is the purchase.
So I think what I heard is this is $140,000 extra.
That's correct.
It's not budgeted. It's coming out of the general fund.
Yep.
No, it's
It's
part
budgeted.
of the budget that we made on that $6 million that we had
Back
set
in
aside.
September.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's correct.
Okay. Excellent. I thought this was a new finding
No.
and that we're another 140,000 in the red.
No, we anticipated that the price would go up on a lot of these
Sorry.
items.
Our fund balance will not be depleted by this amount.
What this really was is my office saying, wait, we need a new exception before
Got it.
we pay this.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. What say the court?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Got a motion from Bruce, a second from Gerald. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. That motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Item 28 and 29 will be executive session items. So I would ask that we move beyond those and move on down to item 8:30.
Judge, I know that everyone has copies of those contracts. If y'all are ready to proceed with those, we just simply put the executive session on the agenda.
And we forego
Should the court want it.
we could forego the executive session. Okay.
Yeah,
It's up to
long
the
as
court,
y'all-
really.
Yeah, that's right. If there are aspects that y'all would prefer to have closed session advice on, then we can do that.
I don't know. I had some questions. I didn't know if it needed to be an executive session or not.
Well, that's
Well, I mean,
that's where we are right
That's
now.
it. That's what it's.
Yeah. So
Judge, you want to go ahead and read the agenda item? And
Yeah. Item number 28 is to consider and approve contract between Liberty County and Acadian Ambulance Service for ambulance services in Liberty County, Texas. And item number 29 is to consider and approve professional services agreement between Liberty County and DRG Architects for construction of the new Liberty County Jail. And those be considered into executive session should we need to go there.
I would also like to say that we do have representatives from both Acadian here as well as DRG Construction for both agenda items.
Okay.
Both agreements have already been executed by Acadian and DRG.
Well, Acadian, why don't y'all ease up here and visit with us a minute?
May I ask a quick question? What's the time frame for this contract? Is it next year?
It goes into effect officially April 1st of 2026.
Yeah. Y'all introduce yourselves so everybody know who you are, if you don't mind.
Judge, Commissioners, my name is Eric Strickland. I'm the Corporate Director of Integrations with Acadian Ambulance Service, based here locally in the greater Houston area.
And I'm Carlos Wattis, the Operational Manager for Acadian Ambulance in Southeast Texas.
Okay. You have anything you want to add to what we've been discussing? I believe the contract is ready. Catherine, Matthew?
Yes.
And, I think the commissioners had the opportunity to look over the contract. Is that correct? So that would forego any reason why we need to go into an executive session.
I did hand it to you this morning. I will say that the contract was drafted by our office, certainly with review by Acadian's legal team. I feel confident that this is a good contract for both parties. Any questions that you have for my office or Eric, we're happy to answer.
Okay.
Judge, we're ready to work. Our team's already been laying some fundamental groundwork before Carlos today. He will be the operations manager overseeing operations for Liberty County under the direction of Jay Lewis, our regional vice president, and our operations team. We've already done a lot of work at the committee. Barring your ratification this today, we'll get to work very quickly, meeting with all the local stakeholders, all the fire chiefs, all the local organizations and hospitals to make sure a very seamless transition come April 1st.
So since you're here, I'll just ask the question that's out there. So there was a lawsuit filed about your response times in Louisiana. So how have y'all addressed that? Are we going to have any response time issues here? Who do we contact if we do?
Sure. So that's a civil matter, and I believe you're referring to it in Louisiana. Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah. There's a whole civil matter which has not been is still in litigation. So I can't really speak to that, other than we feel pretty substantiated in our 54-year history of response times according to the standard. We commit to Liberty County as far as here goes, full transparency, as it's indicated in our bid proposal to you guys. And historically, if you talk to any, which I believe the committee did that throughout the state of Texas, full transparency, from reporting, boots on the ground. We're not folks that sit behind a desk. Justin Back, our president of our division, I believe he came down here throughout the process for panel. And so one of the things that we do commit to answer your question the best way I can is full transparency and accountability.
Okay.
If that's fair.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So one of the things is because of the expiration of our contracts with the counties, the start date, I think, is March 1. Is that right?
April 1st.
April 1st.
Our current contract expires March 31st.
But the cities of Dayton and Cleveland, their contracts are overlapped.
Right. And what I can tell you is, without giving too much away, is that both Matthew and myself have been in contact with at very least the city of Dayton and are working with them.
Okay.
But that would probably have to be a separate agreement in the future.
I would just like to see us somehow get flanged up with those cities. I know
Sure,
the city
and-
of Liberty
and
has their own
we're
service.
working on that,
But
but
that was one of the rub points.
Sure.
With the timing of the contract, not to do with the selection necessarily, but
we are working on that. We're having those conversations, but those types of issues will need to be addressed in a separate agreement.
So is that a follow up for you guys?
Yes.
Going forward.
Yes.
And could y'all come back to the court and let us know how those negotiations are going, because it could be a serious.
Absolutely.
Because of the number of ambulances and teams involved, we could have issues during this gap period, so to speak.
Sure. And I will say that it is built into this contract. There is a provision in the event that Acadian needs to come in quicker.
Okay.
And we stand committed to that.
Thank you.
Matthew, Catherine, not being an attorney myself, this contract best does serve the county of Liberty and the citizens of Liberty County.
I stand by that. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
That being said, I have to make a motion to approve this contract.
Okay. Got a motion from Bruce, second from Greg, to approve the contract as it stands. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. Appreciate y'all being here.
Appreciate you. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, item number 29, since we had that discussion previous, that we don't need to move this into executive session either, Lee. It's a hallelujah moment. It's 829 is consider and approve professional service agreement between Liberty County and DRG Architects for construction of the new Liberty County Jail. Matthew and Catherine?
Yes. You should have received this in an email yesterday. It's a professional service agreement for architect services with the bid winner, DRG Architects. And they are here today. And I'd love for you to hear from them. I have to say, this has been something that the committee for the new jail has been working very diligently on. Stephanie in purchasing has been a godsend, but we've really worked together to develop these terms. We've been in constant communication with Wayne and his office, and they were able to really meet everything that we needed. And I think that that's great. So we're here for questions.
Well, gentlemen, with the DRG, why don't y'all come up or you can stay right there. You got your microphone there handy.
Catherine, what's the effective date?
The date that it's executed.
Okay, so as of today?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you let Ms. Chambers know who you are and all about you.
Judge, Commissioners, my name is Wayne Gondek. I'm the president of DRG Architects. This is Gary Adams. I think some of y'all met him virtually through that interview process, and I know that Gary has met some of y'all personally up here. Gary's a little bit closer here. lives in Longview, and I think he just moved to Burkeville here over the last week or so. Gary and I have been practicing together about the last 20 years. Gary has his own firm. Gosh, how long have you?
For a long time. I've been in this for 52 years, so I've been here a while.
You've been here a little while. Did a lot of work on county jails, on a design group here in East Texas. From we're working on a project in Angelina County that Gary did about 30 years ago or so. That we're adding on to it right now. It's about to finish up. Probably a jail commission inspection in a week or so. DRG Architects traces back to my father took over the firm of Widener and Walther, was a South Texas jail architect back in the 40s and 50s. So my dad took over that firm in the early 60s. I started dabbling in this somewhere in the 70s, and then started working with him in the early 80s there. So we've been involved with this a long time. We've done probably combined a couple hundred jails in 85 counties. So about 25% of the counties there that we worked in. So we think that that's a pretty good representation. We do appreciate that y'all's express that confidence in selecting the firm here. I think a lot of that came from Gary's direct experience here in East Texas, Southeast Texas, and his ability to know what's going on in here. We did come over and visit with the sheriff and his staff on your current jail and situation here, and looked at that. As you work through that process, we're aware of the urgency of this project. We're aware of the magnitude of this project, and we're aware of how much this project really means to the county right now, or what the impact is of that. And I think we've talked back and forth numerous times about, that this is the biggest thing, happening or have happened to Liberty County. And it's one of the biggest things happening in the state as far as jail.
I know it's the most expensive.
Yes, sir. We've done 1,000-bed facilities and 500-600 bed facilities, for other counties. The problem is that most of that was before this last round of massive escalation of construction costs. So when you look at a 600-bed facility, the last 600-bed facility that we did in Burnett County cost $23 million. That's not what this is costing you, or that's not what you're looking at the budget. We put in the contract here that we're trying to keep this construction budget under that $100 million price tag. That knocks you out of your chair today. The price of our contract knocks you out of your chair today, and we look at that and think, well, that's great. But when you look at all the consultants and engineers and other people that have to be involved to do this amount of work and what those costs are today, it goes pretty quick. Y'all know you deal with this every day of what this cost, and cost of escalate. Y'all dealt with budgets over the years and what those were, 10 years ago and what they are today. And that's one thing that we have to work at very diligently. We've already talked about the construction manager at risk, the two-step process that I think y'all have already talked about, and the importance of getting somebody on early and start that process here after the first year. We've definitely committed to being part of that process and get that going, because that's going to be that team is really the ones that can help, keep that cost of this project in line, and make sure that they, know the area, know jails, this is different type of construction. Y'all have found that out with, working on repairing the existing jail. Not everybody can really, deal with the type of construction that you have in a jail. You have specialty systems. Y'all talking about one this morning on security. All these systems, are important. We do have a team of very, well qualified architects and engineers. We've all worked together on other projects, so we think that is special. I think Gary, he's sitting there stepping on my toe because he wanted to keep me from talking too long.
I'll just interrupt you. We want to thank y'all for letting us be part of your team. We're glad to get you in our little collection. I was involved in building the jail in Hardin County, Jasper County, several projects for John Thompson in Polk County, Montgomery County. Wayne and I both have worked there. So by putting y'all on the map, we're kind of closing that little spot there as far as our experience in this part of the world. We also see the urgency here that time is money, not only on the construction side, but the fact that you're shipping, it's costing you. The quicker we can move this project along, the better. And if there's any way we can help you on your existing project at the old jail, anything we can step up to do to help you get that open back quicker, we're available for that also.
Thank you.
Magic, you have a team of grant writers to help us pay for this jail.
I can tell you yes.
So I want the truth.
I really don't know where the money, at this point in time, I get asked all the time, is there any monies out there for this? If it was maybe some other kind of project, you stand a better chance with people's ideas on prisoners and jails, and it's really not a lot of money out there for that.
There's no money, for some juvenile justice. There's some money out there for some jail diversion programs and other things. Okay, sure. But as far as jail construction,
bricks and mortar,
we are not aware of any, and we keep looking. Now there are sometimes some different pieces of equipment out there that the sheriff's law enforcement can look for, some security and some other things. So, but most of that doesn't go directly in the jail.
And there may be some COG money out there for you. I know in Polk County we were able to get some help with generators and things. We can look at that.
Okay.
But back in the 70s and 80s, we asked the government for some money, and they sent us peanut butter. When they turned the application in for jail, they looked up and got cases and cases of gallon cans of peanut butter. Jimmy Carter was president. So,
well, yeah.
It really didn't help to build a jail out of peanut butter.
Yeah.
So could I ask Matthew and Catherine at a high level to explain, you look at this item just for all the transparency, kind of how you picked DRG and why we're doing this.
Yes. So the way that we approached this process was through a committee. There was a selection committee made up of multiple different departments that have an active role in this process. Purchasing, the sheriff's department, the auditor, our office for legal reasons. And there were some really great candidates who've done really great work across the state. But we have very particular needs here in Liberty County. And one of the reasons that we selected DRG was because we felt that they checked all of those boxes for us. They understood our needs. They understood where we are financially and what is the best way to move forward.
Great. Of all the candidates, they had unquestionably the most experience. A very large amount of jail projects.
And isn't it true that we've had our auditor look over this contract and he was quite happy with
Certain terms, yes.
Yes, certain terms, yeah. And
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, if you're talking about the fee, then that's
yeah, oh,
right.
yeah.
Yes, he's pleased with the fee schedule.
Okay. Y'all have had the opportunity to look at the site location?
I have from the road. I haven't walked it. We've got some questions that we'll get answered as we move through this. One of the things that I was impressed with is seemingly you already have the infrastructure up to the site, water, sewer, electrical. This is generally a fight we have early on in the project, is getting power, gas, all those things. And you're already having the sheriff's office there. The civil part of it we'll work through with detention ponds and all of that that's going to have to be in place.
Yeah.
I think you already have a pretty good plan in mind where you want it, the approaches in and out, all those things that we'll be covering early on to see where it's actually going to be located. But you've got a good project. As far as the site goes with us, we generally get a half a block. As we got in Semino, they gave us a half a block to build a jail.
Yeah.
So here we're very pleased that you were foresighted enough to go out and acquire enough property to move forward with this.
Approximately 76 acres out there.
That gives us room, and I think you probably have a master plan for any future buildings. We don't want to get in the way of anything.
Yep.
We want to locate it in the right spot, so from the very beginning, we can start.
And that is one of the requirements under the contract is for us to not only plan the 600 capacity jail, but also the 1,200 capacity core facilities of this jail. So that and the additional are going to grow. And as you need more jail space, that you can add housing units or another housing pod or living units and not have to go back in and disrupt your jail operations to build internally. Your kitchen, you could add more kitchen equipment internally or more washing machine.
So the support would be approximately 1,200 inmates. The actual jail would be 600 beds.
Yes.
Correct.
So it gives us the opportunity throughout the years to double the amount.
Well, the jail commission early on asked us, when you add on to this, how do you expand it?
Yeah.
We will have a master plan showing the development. We won't be around to do it, most likely. Some of us won't. But we have a master plan that will take us, and that's where we are in Angelina County. We had a master plan to develop that.
Mhm.
Polk County, we're talking to them how we can develop that. Everywhere we go, if we've been on projects, we have a master plan to take to that next phase. Now, whoever inherits this won't inherit a mess next to a railroad track or whatever.
Be basically indirect supervision or direct supervision as far as the function.
That we work through with the sheriff and his people and what.
So y'all will have some interviews with the user groups then.
Yes,
Okay.
we will be talking a lot. What we want is a team that we can put together, y'all can put together, be a part of it. So as we work through this, we don't come into commissioner's court one day and show you a bunch of drawings and you don't know what you're looking at. We don't know how to explain it. So we will involve y'all throughout the project. It's not a surprise at the end, John.
Jay, how long we've been working on this? 4 or 5 years now?
Well, we really started talking about it 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now we're finally to a point where we're ready to saddle the horse.
Well, I'd like to make the motion to approve this professional service agreement between Liberty County and DRG.
Second.
Okay, got a motion from Bruce. Second from Greg to approve the professional service agreement between Liberty County and DRG Architects for construction for the new Liberty County Jail. Is there any further discussion? Really?
Well, I do want to say, although we're looking at $100 million price tag on this, the county right now is spending millions of dollars sending inmates to outside facilities because we are not equipped to handle them here. This will greatly relieve in the future the taxpayers and their burden for incarcerated.
Yeah. All right. Hearing no further discussion, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Welcome to Liberty County, gentlemen.
Thank you all. You'll
Thank
probably
you.
be seeing us for quite a while.
Come by anytime. Today's a good day. They got food in the hall.
We saw that coming.
Yeah.
One more.
Make a motion to
nope.
go into.
No.
We still got an executive session left.
Well, you still have
Nope,
an
got one
agenda
item.
item.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
And then an executive session.
Yes.
Uh,
Y'all are hungry, huh?
Item number 30.
We have number 30 to vote on, and then
Yeah.
discuss the executive session.
Okay. Item number 30, Melinda, you just thought you were through, okay? It's from, consider and approve United Utilities request to use holding tanks for the temporary office trailer at 13504 Highway 321 in Precinct 4. United Utilities are a contractor for Entergy.
Correct.
And we've used these before.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I always, whenever they're asking for holding tanks, I always bring them to y'all.
Yeah. Jared, you got any problem with that?
Transparency.
And of course, they have.
Well, they didn't come to me with this
Yes,
one.
yes.
Somehow they went to Commissioner Whitmire, but
Yes,
the only question I have, these are just for their trailers.
yes.
Since I've been on the court a year, there was a previously executed road use agreement between Entergy and the county. And then we recently just completed the second phase, and this is to bring a line down into Dayton proper. So is there a road use agreement in the works, or has, we're not going to approve the holding tanks and they're going to go to work, right?
They're saying this project's gonna last approximately 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And this location itself is gonna be used for material storage of poles, cross arms, and similar type powered line construction
Well,
materials.
this location is on Highway 321 though, so it's not impacting any of the county
Right.
roads.
Correct.
So I don't have a problem with the holding tanks.
Right.
It's just that
Yeah.
I haven't heard, what goes along with this, and that's a road use agreement.
It's basically gonna be a laydown yard.
Okay. But for the rest of the county, so those roads are identified and we do the right abouts. And I'm surprised that the Energy hasn't contacted. I mean, is it going to be in the northern part of the county? They're just doing it because of the location?
I think honestly, I don't know. This was kind of brought up on the side and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta get that on board for approval.
Oh, they're all over the
Because they were,
county.
the whole project's name is Energy Texas Resiliency.
Yeah, they're up by me.
Yeah, they're all
everywhere.
over.
Yeah.
And, but this basically is, like I said, it's gonna be a laydown yard.
Okay. So are you dealing with the contractor or with the,
Contractor. Entergy doesn't ever contact me, it's always the contractor.
right? So that's what we had with the road use, but it's a guy by the name of David Turnbow in the last two projects. The one we completed, we got a little bit of money on to repair some roads, and then we wrote about with him to do the other road use agreement. I'm just looking at the phase where work happens, not the holding tanks.
Yeah, that's
We can
totally different. I mean,
Okay.
still get a.
All right, they can
agreement with them.
start mobilization of the crew, but they're not.
They just need some.
Bringing. It's the mats and the cranes. These things
Yeah,
they're road destroyers.
Yes.
Yeah, we can reach out to them. We'd be happy to,
Okay.
my
Yeah.
office would be happy to reach out.
All right.
And figure out where they
Thank
are.
Right.
Absolutely.
Then I'll make the motion that we approve the holding tanks for
Second.
United Utilities.
All right, we have a motion from Gerald, second from David to approve the consideration. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Now, we have to go back to item number 5. I'm going to ask that we move into executive session on that item number. This is consultation with attorney under section 551.071 of the government code. And then also talk about real property. That would be 551.072. So motion from anyone?
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Bruce made the motion, second from Greg. All in favor, say aye. We are in executive session. Okay, it's 11:57. We're out of executive session, back in regular session. The item that was under consideration was item number 5. on the agenda was evaluate a proposal to purchase a 28-foot easement, 804 feet in length from Scott Krasinowski on County Road 614. What is the court's pleasure?
Make a motion to take no action.
Second. Okay, motion from Bruce, second from Greg. Take no action. Any further discussion? Call for vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Likewise, nays. Motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Second.
Got a motion from Bruce to adjourn. Second from David. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And it is 11:59.